Hello, everyone. I'm Adam with Demiplane. Thank you so much for joining me today for this week's development update and community Q&A session. If you've got those questions, you can start asking them right now. We have our magical artificial intelligence. I don't know if it quite qualifies as that, but I won't say that just in case it makes it upset or angry. But Demibot is going to be crawling chat out there and is going to be collecting those questions. So if you have a question, type the word question followed by the question, and I will get to as many of those as I can at the end. And otherwise, we're going to talk about our latest updates and then what is on the roadmap. So kind of that on deck status once we finish up the things that are currently on the plate. What is the what's the next course for us? So that is what the upcoming part is all about. So let's jump right in. We also have a new show being announced today that is going to be debuting pretty soon. And so it's got an incredible cast. I can't wait to share that news with you today. I can't wait to see them all play together. So that is also going to be here in our show today. So Pathfinder Nexus Early Access. Tomorrow we have the next installment. So I say tomorrow, I guess technically it is tonight at, many of the people who are working here at Demiplane are in the central time zone. We have some in Mountain and then some in Pacific time. And I'm trying to think, we might have one or two people that are in Eastern time, barely in Eastern time. But ultimately, it's going to be super late for us in the central time zone. But we will be actually dropping that installment tonight. So if you have just been queuing up your group and you're like, hey, the moment that adventure path comes out, we're going to be playing it, and you are running that game and you need to get started on that right away, that is going to be happening tonight. But it is called Field of Maidens, and this Bloodlords adventure path has already been really good. So check that one out if you have been playing that. And then we are working on Kingmaker Anniversary Edition, 600 plus pages. So this, to put that in perspective, the Pathfinder core rulebook is 600 and something pages, and it is a tome. I was trying to see where it's too far back there. I'll jerk the headphones off my head. But the Pathfinder core rulebook is a tome. It is a chunk, and so Kingmaker is massive, and it is my personal favorite adventure path from Paizo over all these years. So really excited about that one. And so the team is working on it, and just getting the images prepped for it has already been a massive undertaking. But the team is going to have that ready when that release date comes here in October. So working on that one as well. On the character engine, again, this is kind of, behind the scenes type activity that is not going to get you too excited yet, but it is actually pretty exciting for us that we have the first, we'll call it a proto build with working engines. We have an actual screen where we are choosing actual ancestries and choosing actual heritages now. And so it's just another step along the journey here and on the road to getting this thing ready for alpha and early access. So all of that is going on. So much work. One of these days, after we get this out to you, we're going to, do a documentary on the process that we've had here because it's been a massive undertaking. And I think what's going to be so exciting is once we see this happen for Pathfinder and all of the options and, the robustness of that system, to be able to then turn to some of these other great games that we're getting out into early access and be able to let them leverage that and use that character management platform. It's going to be something else, and so we're really excited about it. And everything that has gone into this development. There have been so many twists and turns But I think where we are going to end up here is going to be such an exciting place. So we're very energized by it as we're working on that. But also very heads down on it right now. Most of our team is. On Vampire Nexus, we are working on Sabbat and Second Inquisition, and I can tell you that we have been, talking with the World of Darkness team, and October is the month of darkness, and so we can't put the promises in place yet, but we are certainly trying to get some content out in that month of darkness, and so stay tuned on all of that. But that's kind of the current target that we have for that to come out. And we are still waiting to hear back on Chicago by Night and Cults of the Blood Gods on some of the errata pass that's going on. And so once that completes, and once we're able to see, the scope of those changes and get those squared away, we will also have those 2 pre-order books available for you to do that. And we are very prepared to move on that very quickly. So because we would love to see those books get out to you. So the moment that we hear from the World of Darkness team, that is going to kind of bubble its way back up to the top of the queue. And then Mutant Year Zero and Alien RPG Nexus Early Access. So getting your hands on these games and their content in the digital reader, in the game compendium. I've been putting some finishing touches on both of those in the last couple of weeks here, and I am terribly excited about both of those. Alien, I have been seeing xenomorphs in my dreams, so it's been really immersive to get that going, and I think that it's going to be a great way to explore that game, to learn about that game, and to if you haven't done it before, play that game. Alien remains at this point in time one of the best licensed games, if not the best licensed game I have ever played. It captures the feel of how Alien and those sequels out there make me kind of the sense and the feeling that I get when I am watching and consuming that media. This game really, really captures that feel. And so if you've never checked it out, the Nexus is going to be a great way to do that. I encourage you to do so. But those are both coming very soon. So keep your ears peeled and eyes peeled for what's going on there. All right, upcoming character builder and digital sheet. As I said, we are deep into the process here. We are continuing along on the design phase for the Free League games that I was just talking about. So this week we are starting all of the design mock-up process for the Alien character sheet and character builder. Loving what we're seeing so far there. There is this pesky redacted, which hopefully is not going to be redacted for too much longer, that we have also been working through, and we've kind of completed the design pass on that, and it is looking fantastic. Cannot wait for that one as well. So I know that is such a tease that we keep doing that, but that redacted is going to be removed before too much longer as well. Game content, Pathfinder Agents of Edgewatch is the next adventure path that we're going to be working on in between, all keeping everything current. We've got Impossible Lands and Firebrands that are on the way this year as well. Vampire, that's the rest of kind of the currently released products, but that's kind of the order that we are planning to tackle those in. And then for Free League, we are going to have the core book, and then very importantly on Mutant Nexus, we are going to have the Year Zero engine SRD. So if you have ever wanted to go out and create content using the Year Zero engine, which is a really, really great game system, you're going to have a really flexible and usable version of that available to you that you can browse for free, and that you can leverage in your own projects per Free League's SRD rules and all the legalities that are going on with that. But you will be able to see that on Mutant Nexus. and then we will have the core rule book for Alien, and then the next one that we will tackle after that is Colonial Marines, and then Destroyer of Worlds for that cinematic scenario. And we will add the other, I think there are a couple more, trying to think about what has been released and what hasn't yet, but a couple more products for Alien that we will be catching up hopefully through the end of the year. And then, without further ado, we have a new stream show that I am very pleased to announce the cast for today. And this is going to be premiering next Wednesday. So, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow on September the 28th. And the show is called Expiration Race, which I love the name. Kudos to Josh Simons, who is behind the camera right now on this stream, came up with that. And Josh is going to also be the game master for this game and this show. And so he's got a great concept that is going to be playing Mutant Year Zero with Michelle Wynn Bradley. Can't wait for that. Omega Jones, Melly Doucette. So our director of community and content, Melly, is going to be joining the cast there too. Katie Osborne and Elisa Pearl. Out of these individuals, I am such a big fan of every single one of them and what they have been doing out there. And so we're getting them all in one place like this for playing a post-apocalyptic, against time at the end of time kind of scenario. So I can't wait to see what happens with this. It's going to be a ton of fun. But that is going to be debuting next Wednesday, September 28th, with that incredible cast. It's going to be 6 p.m. Pacific on our Twitch channel. And then, as always, we will have those VODs loaded to YouTube within a few days of those streams. So this is going to be a 4-part series. Not saying that we might not have more in the future, but we're going to start this out with a 4-part series, and can't wait to see what happens there. All right, let's jump into questions at this point. And I've got a few questions out here. If you have a question, now is your chance. Ask those in chat. Preface it with the word question, and then Demibot will pick it up, and we will be able to work through that. So let's see. Bacon Golem. Wow, I love that username. I have read so many usernames over the years, and I have to say, I don't want to go too hard in on the recency bias here, but I have to say that one really, really stacks up against some of the best that I've seen and heard and read over the years. So kudos to you, Bacon Golem. When will character creation be available for Pathfinder and the Demiplane tools? So we went through some of that a little bit earlier. We don't have a specific date for you. We are at a point now where I feel confident and comfortable enough to say that it will be in the hands of at least some people, and by some people talking a group of alpha testers out in the public, not internally. So there will be some form of external alpha before the end of the year. I feel comfortable enough that I can say that. So that should tell you that we're definitely getting close, and we will provide more updates on that as soon as we have them. But we're certainly seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, but no specific date in mind yet, because we really are going to release this when it's ready. So this is something that we've made an incredibly big investment in bringing this to life, and this is a kind of the cornerstone of everything that we're doing with Pathfinder Nexus and so many of these other Nexuses that we are working on, that we are going to make sure that we get it right. And getting it right, I also want to dig into that a little bit. Getting it right does not mean that it is going to be perfect right when it comes out. It's not going to be everything that it will be the moment that it comes out. We do have to start somewhere, but getting it right means that we want that first showing of the first time that it gets into fans' hands out there, to meet the proper threshold, and then for it to be in a place where we can receive the feedback from the fans and the players out there to be able to make this everything that it needs to be. So again, we're getting pretty close here. No specific dates, but I do feel comfortable enough to say that we are targeting, this year for sure to have this in the hands of at least some alpha testers out there. We'll have more information about how you can sign up for alpha testing, and engage and get involved in alpha testing in the coming weeks as well. All right, Pishulrix. Sorry if I am butchering that one. Apologies, this has already been addressed. How soon before we get character sheets? Okay, I should have previewed that one, but just talked about that, and appreciate the enthusiasm. We are very excited about that too. Anchor 89. How soon can I pay Demiplane my $4.99? And I believe you are referring to the membership, Demiplane membership, and that is going to be very soon. So, as I said last week, it will be within the next. Last week, I said within the next couple of weeks, and everything, all signs point to that is still the case. And so, might see it this week. If not, I think it will. It should absolutely be by the week after. Week after, no, but possibly this week, at least by next week. That's what we'll say there. Cyanid 87. Will Mutant get a Spotify release as well? I am not following that question. I apologize. Oh, excellent, excellent. So Josh in my ear, the voice in my head, has clarified for me podcast release. So that is a great question, and if that is something that we want to see happen, by all means, let us know about that. Right now, I personally don't know the answer to that question, but the people who would know are watching this stream, and so we will provide some updates on that pretty soon as well. And Pixel Rith, without character creation, what are the pros of jumping onto Demiplane for digital content now? Ultimately, I think that gets back to the entire reason that we have taken the approach that we have with early access. And so when we started, we had so many discussions, not only amongst our internal team, but also with Paizo and with some of the other publishers that we're working with, about, hey, we're going to have 3 core features that kind of comprise the entire platform here, at least at the beginning. And those 3 core features were the digital reader, the game compendium, and then character management, character builder, and digital character sheet. So those 3 core features, we knew that the character management piece would by far, especially for a game like Pathfinder, take the most time for us to develop. And so then, but we also knew that it was a stair step, that in order for us to have a game compendium, we had to get things digitized and ready to go in the digital reader. So once we got everything in the digital reader, then we started moving to the game compendium, and we knew that getting the different game elements parsed out into the game compendium, that was a prerequisite step, that we would need that data and that information in character management. And so that stair step approach, we looked at that and we said, hey, maybe we should, just go dark, and we should not announce this for a while. We should get into the all of the development of this, and as we get closer to having all 3 of those things, we'll tell the world, we'll release it. People won't have to wait for it. And of course, that's always great when you have that luxury to be able to do that. There are many video game, studios out there that wish that they could do things that way. But one of the things that we discovered pretty early on in the process, as we were putting this together, was that, like, hey, wait a minute, all of this stuff being in this digital reader is really, really useful right now as it is. And then we were like, wait a minute, it's really useful to be able to find spells this quickly and easily, to be able to use these filters. So the game compendium was really useful because we were using it internally, and we were seeing that, like, wait, this brings value to our games already as is. And so that actually ended up spurring the decision for us to kind of have this early access period while we are completing that third, as I said, cornerstone piece with character management. So the long and short of that very long-winded response that I gave you there is the reason that we have released the digital reader and the game compendium is because it's good stuff and it's useful for you. And so the things about that that are useful is, in the digital reader, being able to access the content on any kind of device is such a boon. The number of times that I have pulled up something because I wait, does it work this way or does it work that way? It's like, wait a minute, that character concept that I have just dreamed up while I'm waiting for my kids' practice to end. I must know this right away. And so being able to pull up, the advanced players guide right there on my phone, and for that to be something that, PDFs are tough on phones. And so being able to have that content and have it right there available to me, being able to search that content, being able to, when I come across an ability that I'm not aware of, being able to click on that and see the full content through a tooltip, all of that interaction and that accessibility is a really big boon, and one of the reasons that, clearly I personally think it's the best way to consume this kind of content. Now, I love physical books too. I want to be clear there. I've got them. It's not behind me here, but on these other shelves over here, I have way too many, my wife would say. But those are kind of filling a different kind of need for me, and I'm gonna pick those up and read those in different kind of scenarios. But when I'm at the table, or when I'm out on the go, when I'm at conventions, all these other places where that play is happening, that accessibility, any kind of device, anywhere I happen to be, and then that interaction of being able to see all of that deep linking throughout, being able to cross-reference things very, very quickly. That's where the digital reader really, really shines. And I will never forget the first time that I was playing. It was actually Tomb of Annihilation, back in former life, DDB days, and we had kind of this digital reader concept going there. And I had the book for Tomb of Annihilation, started running that with people in the office at that point in time. And this was going to be the first time that I was running it through this digital reader. And I remember that I had the book and I was using that, and I was trying to test what was happening on the screen. And I was like, wait a minute. And I just dropped the book almost immediately there at the table, because that ability to even do something as simple as a control F to find something on a page, or again, using global search, or seeing a monster or a creature that was going to be, attacking the party, and being able to hover over it and see how many hit points it has right there, super quick at a glance. It really was game changing for me. And so when I'm running these games, these digital tools and that digital reader is the go-to. And so that's one reason that you absolutely can and should jump in now, because that digital reader already has that value. And then the game compendium is an extension of that. And so if you know that you're looking for spells, so it's the same information, same game information as what you have in the books. But if you know what you're looking for, it gives you really, really powerful ways to find those things. The other thing that the game compendium does right now is, across the game of Pathfinder 2e right now, we have several different places that barbarians have options that are coming in, have things that are talking about barbarians. When you go to Vampire the Masquerade, There are various places that the Bruja clan, or my personal favorite, the Gangrel clan, is being talked about across a variety of products. And if you're using the physical books here, you're taking them off the shelf and you're thumbing through and you're looking for that. This is a way here in this game compendium within the primers for clans, classes, what have you. This is where everything can be aggregated in one place. And so if you want to read everything there is to know about the gangrel or the barbarian, it's going to be right there in that one place. Very convenient for you to kind of read that aggregation in that one-stop shop. So very, very long-winded there, but we're very excited about those two features. And then I think the most exciting thing for us is, as I said at the start, those are the stairs right now for that final piece, which is going to be the character management. And so it's all going to come together, and that is going to be the focal point of it. But these other two features build that third piece and are really useful in and of themselves. All right. One more question that I've got here. If you got another one, go ahead and feel free to get it in. Otherwise, we will finish after this one. So again, and I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that, Pitchulrix. If no one else is jumping on, I'll keep going. Is there an app for offline access? We do not currently have plans for a native mobile app for the offline access piece of that. Every day that we're alive on the planet, offline access is becoming less and less important and less of an issue. And so currently with our priorities, we are not chasing after that, because we're focusing on the proverbial bigger fish to fry here in the short term. However, I will say that the entire point of us doing this is to make sure that we are providing what fans need out there. And so as we continue to go down the road, if offline access is an important thing for you, that is something that we would love to hear about. And if we see that there's enough community demand for that, it is absolutely a step that we will take to try to figure that out. But from the past life of mine, we saw a pattern where there was some demand, what looked like demand for offline access, and then when that offline access was delivered, no one used it, and so that definitely is informing some of our decision making right now. But if any of those assumptions of ours are wrong, then we're certainly going to dig in. We're going to keep looking into what the demand is out there in the community, and we are going to provide what the community needs. Given time, we're going to provide what the community needs. So if that is important to you, let us know about that, and we'll see what happens in the future. All right. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. If you're typing one, I'm giving you just another moment to finish those last few words and hit your question mark at the end. You don't have to do the pronunciation or the punctuation. You don't have to do that. Okay. All right. I think we're out of questions. We will call it for today. We do have a new episode of Children of Erte tonight, and we are, burning the incense and anything else that we can do to try to avoid, having any gremlins show up with any technical challenges, as we've had too much of in the last, few weeks. But barring any of that, we're going to have a new episode tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific. So would love to see you there for that. And don't forget that not tomorrow, but the week after that, we've got that new show, Expiration Race, with that phenomenal cast that we talked about a little bit earlier. And this is just the starting point. There's going to be a great bit of content that is going to be coming in the future as well. So stick around, and we'll keep you posted on all of those things. I hope everyone has a wonderful day and a great week. We'll catch you here next time. Later, Gators.